everyone, welcome to our webinar. My name is Andrew Townsend. I'm the Campaign Marketing Manager here at eLearning Brothers. Today is Star Wars Day, May the 4th. So we're talking May the Workforce be with you. We're going to be talking about a lot of really cool tips on how to work with your teams and how to use some games in that. This session will be recorded. We'll get a copy of it sent out to everybody who has registered, so you can be checking for that in your email. If you have questions during the webinar, or you just like to chat, please do use the questions panel. It looks like some of you have already found that. That is inside of the GoToWebinar control panel, a section labeled questions. You can send in your thoughts there, and we'll interact with you there as well. All right, so we have a star-studded group with us today. We've got Trent Howell and Richard Vass from eLearning Brothers, as well as Stephen Baer, Richard Lowenthal, Jennifer Hassel's on as well, and Mark Gingdick from the Game Agency. Thanks everybody for joining, and without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and pass the time over to you, Richard.
Thank you so much. So in everybody's Hangout in the chat, you should have seen a URL, which is the URL that will magically transport you through the galaxies to a URL where we are going to play Jeopardy for May the Workforce be with you. So if you would be so kind as to check the chat and click on the link, check out that's that page where you as the instructional designer get to tell your team, why are we here? What are we doing here today? Go ahead. I see already 23 people have registered, and I appreciate that very much. So I see a whole bunch of people, Chelsea and Jason and Cindy and Wes and Dane. Thank you very much for joining us from across the galaxy. And we're going to get started in just a few minutes.
Richard, I registered as Han Solo. I hope that's okay.
That indeed, that will, for today.
So appropriate.
Well, I went with Princess Leia. I mean, someone had to.
For those of you
It looks like it.
I am.
Yeah, go ahead.
I am middle-aged Yoda.
Middle-aged Yoda, that's awesome. We are in for a swashbuckling time here, folks.
Very powerful.
Yeah, a few more minutes. We now have 60 people registered to play, and I want to give everybody just a kind of a couple of heads up as we're waiting for everybody to register, because once this Millennium Falcon has left the spaceport, at that point, we cannot have anybody else join us. So we're going to wait just a couple more minutes for people to register, then we're going to go ahead and take off.
Yeah,
so
it sounds like if that's the number you have, yeah, we still have plenty of other people that are on the webinar.
Okay.
That we can wait for. So make sure.
There's people in the audience saying that they're trying. There are some people in the audience saying that because of where they're at or the machines that they're on, they're not allowed to play. They can't. It's an inaccessible site. So that is unfortunate. I don't know what to do about those ones.
Sure. And well, let me suggest something real quick. First of all, for those of you that cannot join today, a couple things. There will be a video of today's presentation that we can send to you, but it's really important to experience this firsthand. So for those of you that wish, please note that we are at your disposal to run a private company Jeopardy game for you. So we will host for you, and we have a really fun 80s trivia Jeopardy game. And for the last few weeks, we've been hosting company happy hours. And it's a wonderful experience to really understand the power to both intellectually engage people using Jeopardy and our other games, but it's also really important to know that these games are there to emotionally connect. So it's intellectual and emotional that we use games for. We have 94 people registered. So Andrew, I'm going to take my cue from you and tell me when you want me to start
Sure.
this.
We'll wait just a couple more minutes for people that are still joining in to the webinar. Give them an opportunity to join on to the game. But let's talk about prizes real quick. We're going to have a leaderboard. And what is the value of that leaderboard, and why should I try to be at the top of it?
Sure. Well, if you like money, you want to win. So if you don't like money, then don't try and win. The player with the top score today will be receiving a $50 Amazon gift certificate. The person in second place will be receiving a $25 gift certificate. The person in third place will be receiving a $10 gift certificate. Now, what's important to note is that you, as the instructional designer, as the person that's hosting a web conference call, you should think about ways to strategically use that kind of extrinsic motivation, right? So you want to have some kind of prize to really keep people leaning in, attentively listening. Easier said than done. And so having some kind of prize or the top can be a very powerful way of getting people, keeping their attention, which is really hard to do, right? You know, right now today, everybody is sitting at home. A lot of you are probably at your kitchen table right now, and maybe some of you are even in your bunny slippers. I don't know. But the thing to keep in mind is it's really hard to keep people's attention in the best of times. Imagine being on 4 hours of conference calls throughout the day, if not even more. I'm on 6 to 8 a day. It's hard to keep people's attention. And so games are a great way of keeping people focused. And the games that you make will be about your call. So it's a great way of reinforcing, assessing what people know at the exact moment. Hey, clearly, we'll see in just a minute, because we'll have lots and lots of clues where people get them right and where they get them wrong. So it's just a great way to contextualize games and keep people focused on what you need them focused on. How are we doing, Andrew?
I think we're ready to go. I don't know how many registrants you've got, but we're almost 10 minutes in, so let's jump in. Let's do this.
Well, we have 113, and 13 is a really unlucky number. Can we wait like one more minute just to?
You got 114?
Can I tell my Jedi joke? I'll tell my Jedi joke while we're waiting. Which program do Jedi use to open PDF files?
PDF.
Adobe One Kenobi. That's a good joke.
That's good. That's good. Come on, one more registered player. We're still at 113. All right, I'm going to start anyway. Just one more second. Hey, just quick rules of the road. You know how everybody says, it's really important in today's world not to touch your face? Don't touch your face, right? So in that same vein, in just about 30 seconds, everyone's going to see the beautiful Jeopardy game board. Don't touch the game board. You don't control the game board. I have the power. I am the host. I'm using the game back end where I control the actual pacing of the game, and I will be selecting the game clue based on our small audience we have here of folks that you're hearing right now. So I'm going to be asking folks that can respond verbally to me to select the next clue. So that's really
that
important.
being said, once the answers pop up, definitely touch the game board.
Thank you, Trent. And by the way, so I have 2 children at home that are using every byte of internet bandwidth available. So every now and then I glitch out. There just isn't enough. It's a different show, but Captain, I need more power. And I know it's a different movie, right? So, but I'm saying that because if you at home experience some kind of internet glitch and you're like, oh no, what happened? And you need to refresh your browser, please know we got your back. We have this really cool functionality. It's called Save State. And when you refresh with your browser, it'll bring you back to the game board and have you lined up to play the next clue. So you'll miss out on that one clue, but at least you get to be able to continue playing. Also, just one last note, and then we're going to start the game, I promise, is that unlike the TV show, we want to keep everybody playing all the time. We want to have your entire audience engaged at every step of the way. And to do so, we do not have a buzzer. We wanted to have everybody playing every single question. I should say, sorry, every single clue. There are no questions, it's just a clue. Right? So everybody's going to be able to play every single clue and thereby be able to compete on the Jeopardy board. So we have 119 players. Thank you very much for letting us get past the 113 mark. And now we're going to start now. And here we go. Let's have some fun and learn a little bit more about the workforce, how to keep people engaged and attentive throughout.
Going for the
right.
win. But if I win, can I get my prize in Republic credits?
Yes.
Oh, you won't win, Rich. We've got some people on the call today.
Okay. I'm not eligible to win. All right.
By the way, that Jeopardy soundtrack, the voiceover, is the actual host of the show. His name is Johnny Gilbert, and he is Alex Trebek's sidekick and has been for 36 years. He's a wonderful, wonderful gentleman, and we're delighted to have his voice be the voiceovers in the game. So let us begin today's game. I'm going to ask Andrew, who has been working so diligently to get all of this arranged. So Andrew, you have the honors because you've worked so hard on this. So let me ask you to please start today's galactic adventure and select a clue on today's board.
Well, let's go big or go home with Galactic for 600, please.
Galactic for 600 it is. And by the way, Andrew, everybody already is home. So let's go ahead and start. All right, here's a visual clue. And just give it 1 second. So this is a visual clue of a woman in her kitchen. And let us read the clue itself. So everybody should know that you have the opportunity to have visual clues in the form of images, as well as, just so that you know, in the form of videos. So if you have a video that you want to place as the actual clue itself, like they do on Jeopardy, you have that opportunity as well. Now, I'm going to do my best, Alex Trebek. The most important thing to do to get ready for your close-up. Now, I'm going to show the possible responses. And you're going to see a multiple choice on your screen. And what you're going to do is you're going to select by clicking on one of these responses. What is checking Wi-Fi connections, ironing your Jedi robes, turning on the webcam, or ensuring your attire isn't pajama casual? You have 20 seconds to respond. I see.
Pajama casual from here up, right?
Say again?
Not pajama casual from here up, right?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Business casual at this point.
Just to let you know, I see that we have 60 of 121 responses in.
Looks like it's loading a little bit slowly for some people.
Okay. Again, my apologies. My son is taking a test right now.
Even with that prioritized internet.
Even with that prioritized internet. And by the way, the really, really cool thing is if I only left 20 seconds for people, so if we are finding right now that we need a little bit more time because of the internet, it would, I literally can restart. But here we go. We have 86 responses in. I am now going to show the correct response.
Richard, are you using the force to determine the responses, or is there an actual data on the admin panel that shows you that?
Yeah, the really cool thing is that I am in the back end. I am in what it's called the host control panel, and I can see how many people have responded exactly as they're responding.
Awesome.
So I saw that 86 of 121 people have responded. I'm going to, oh, by the way, if you don't respond, you are not penalized. Just so that you guys know, you don't have to respond. There is a mode that you can just toggle on that allows you to penalize people that don't respond. I didn't want to do that here. I just thought that this is just really more for just fun. So I'm going to show the correct answer now. And the correct answer, as everyone knows, is indeed turning on the webcam. That's right. Luke's ghost helping Ray would have been a much creepier experience if Ray couldn't see him. Now, what we're going to do for each of these clues is provide a little bit more detail. And we have something in the training arcade called advanced feedback. So while you, as the instructional designer, have the opportunity to provide feedback that is specific to each clue and have it be feedback based on right or wrong, you also have this opportunity, as you wish, to provide more details in something called advanced feedback. So for this advanced feedback, I'd like Andrew to perhaps enlighten us more.
Sure. So, I mean, webcams are super important. We use webcams in webinars. We use webcams in one-on-one meetings. We use them in team meetings as well. But it's kind of important to know how to set up for a webcam. And when you were in the office, you could just go, into the boardroom and you just sit down and everything's set. But here, I'm making sure there's a window that faces me, so I'm well lit. My background isn't super busy. There are some softwares that you can replace the background with something else, but keeping those really simple is important too, to making sure that it doesn't get too wild and crazy. So yeah, I mean, for me, the webcams are so important, and making sure that you are well lit and that your background isn't super busy is really important as well.
And I just love, the personal connection that that gives to see people's faces really just helps stay connected so well.
True. And remember, don't be like my mom. You don't have to be this close to your camera for us to hear you. Not important.
We're going to get back to the board right now. I just want everyone to know that this advanced feedback that we're seeing right here, which is an image, this also could have been a video. So if you have content, lots of video content, it's a great way of reinforcing a particular topic. I'm going to go back to the board right now. And normally when I'm hosting an online group play, is I would normally say, hey, you know what, David out there, fantastic, great job. You responded faster than everybody else and you got it correct. So David out there got that answer correct in under 2 seconds. So that was fantastic. Well done. But today, what I want to do is kind of just ask Andrew. I'm going to have our panel that can actually verbalize, because everybody on the webinar is muted right now. So I want to ask Andrew if you'd be so kind as to let us know where on our adventure you would like to go next.
Let's go Galactech for 200, please.
Galactech?
You got the please in there.
Whew. That was very nice. I appreciate that. That is the proper. When you're asking Alex, you say please. Galactech for 200. All right. So a picture is worth 1,000 words, and yes, it is ironic to be showing a picture with those words on there. Let's see what the text clue has to say. One moment. Visual aids added to your meeting software that increase engagement. Let's see the possible answers. What are images and interactive GIFs, take out food menus, links to lengthy videos, or my favorite, dad jokes? Select, please, from one of these four. Just note that we didn't have to have 4 multiple choice. Could have been 2, could have been 3. It is up to 4 possible responses. I see 89 people have already responded. Still a few seconds left. 90.
Richard, why didn't cat videos? Why was cat videos not an option?
I caught that, Stephen, and I deleted that. So
okay.
Yes, but good question. All right, we're about to run out of time. And by the way, you don't have to have timers if you don't want. I like timers because they add an element of suspense, but you didn't need to. Let's show the correct. Sorry?
It keeps us moving too.
It does. It does. And the correct answer is dad jokes. No, I'm kidding.
What a dad joke.
Thank you. All right. That's right. Be like Darth Maul and utilize better engagement and messaging via 3D visual imaging software. We have a little bit more information behind this curtain. And for this one, I would like to ask Stephen Bear. Stephen, enlighten us further.
So I am a big fan of visuals, and visuals in my mind don't have to be just images. They could be GIFs, they can be videos, but I feel like bringing your content to life through visual engagement is critical. And quite honestly, I think that it gets someone more excited about your content. thinking about it a different way. What is that visual, Mark? Oh, I love Steve. That's a great visual right there. So, I think that the point is that clearly spoke words to me about how Mark feels beyond what he could say in verbiage. So I think out of all the things that you take away from today, there's probably 10 really good points, but this is one of them. Keep it visual. Keep it looking and exciting, and help tell your story that way.
Thank you. By the way, this one it's amazing. Just about all 96 people that answered that response got it right. So good job there.
All really smart people.
We're going to go back to the board. And Stephen, if you'd be so kind as to, what is our next stop on the galactic journey?
Yeah, can we do Galactic Tech for 200, please?
No.
No, sorry. We did that already. Can we do Hostess with the Mostest for 200?
Hostess for the Mostest for 200. Although Stephen didn't say please, I'll still do it.
Please.
Here's a visual clue. All right, so we have a gentleman that is writing on a wall, which normally would be called graffiti. So let's see what we have to say here. All right. This meeting, quote, must have, needs to be prepared and shared in advance. Now this is a text input. So what you're all going to do is you're going to take your cursor and you're going to place it where it says enter text here, and you're going to type in your response. Now, the cool thing about our text input is that we permit all kinds of spelling permutations. So you as the instructional designer in the back end can put, I believe it's up to 25 spellings and different kinds of answers for this response. We've got 49 out of the 121 people have responded already. And I see lots of people getting this right. And Madeline, good job adding the definitive article before the word agenda. I like that. Oh, shoot. Sorry. Yes, so didn't do that. Let's say the correct answer here. So the correct answer is indeed agenda, but in the back end, we also allowed for the words an agenda. So, and although I like survey, so Zayden, I like survey, but this is before the meeting. I am a huge believer in having an agenda. Let's learn a little bit more about why it's so important. And for this behind the scenes feedback, I'd like to ask Trent to please enlighten us.
Yeah, and I'm like you, Richard. I definitely see there's such value in an agenda. There's so many people that I think one of their big pet peeves is meetings upon meetings upon meetings. And one of the things that an agenda does is it clearly defines the purpose of a meeting and what you want to get out of it. It's good for the participants to know that going in, but I think it's likewise just as helpful for the organizer to prepare an agenda beforehand. That way they're clear in their own mind of what the purpose is and why they really need to meet. And also then while you have a meeting, it keeps you on task and to be able to keep bringing things back to that purpose. So it's both good for the participants and for the organizer to make sure you're on point and you don't have just endless meetings to meet for meeting's sake.
Yeah, for sure. Trent, did you like the acronym that we use at TGA? Do you like that? Amen. You want to talk about that later?
Yeah, jump into it now. Why don't you add on to it?
Yeah. So at TGA we have many clients, and in order to have client meetings run as efficiently as possible, and we do this for internal meetings as well, but we have an acronym that we call AMEN, A-M-E-N. So before a meeting ever happens, send out that agenda. Then you have the meeting, and after the meeting ends, you got to send out notes. So AMEN, agenda, meeting, and then notes. And that's how every single meeting should be run.
Keeps everybody on the same page.
Yep. Let's go back to the board. And Trent, You are the pilot. Where are we going to go next?
Well, let's jump into a new category. Let's see what this Gameface is all about. We'll start at Gameface 200.
Gameface for 200 it is. Again, to Stephen's earlier point, we love visuals, so I like adding a visual clue to every single one of these clues. And just as a reminder, this could have been a video. Just decided to, for my bandwidth purposes, just to keep it to images, but totally cool. Here comes the text. This game feature adds a level of fun to every competition. Possible answers? What is Leaderboard, Tweet Button, Kylo Ren's lightsaber, or Z6 Riot Control Baton? All right, I see that 56 people have already responded. Rogue, good job. Rogue answered fastest correct. Wow, so many people answered in under 1 second. Wow. Holy cow.
We got some light speed going on today.
Yeah. Some really fast responders. That's awesome.
Well, the control baton was a no-brainer. I mean, that was a really easy one.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough.
I wasn't the only one that picked the right answer.
Yeah. Well, look, we're here for some fun. When you're creating your games for your web conference calls and your virtual learning, use more shades of gray so that you can make it really tough on your contestants. But we're just having a little bit of fun today, for sure. So here comes the correct answer. And of course, the answer is indeed Leaderboard. That is right. Brilliant! A #1 ranking displayed allows the whole team to celebrate Luke's winning shot on the Death Star. And in fact, in just a minute, after we learn a little bit more about why leaderboards are important, we're going to check out this leaderboard. So for this, who's going to provide us a little bit more input on leaderboards? That would be Stephen.
Leaderboards, exciting.
Yes. Ready.
I love leaderboards. So I not only like visuals, but I like competition. I mean, I like to collaborate, but really I like to beat everybody. So I like competition, and I feel like leaderboards are the best way to show my dominance. Also, it's a great way it's a great way to really continue to support someone's intrinsic motivations, right? At the end of the day, we all want to be our best selves. And, we all are constantly striving to be better and better. And this is one metric that you can use to show that, to keep people engaged. Quite honestly, to hopefully keep as many of your participants as involved and actively participating as opposed to passively participating. So I think it's really important. And I feel like one of the many things that games lends is that level of competition, engagement, and ongoing metrics to see how people are doing.
Stephen, I have nothing more to add.
This is the first, ladies and gentlemen.
Other than we hope not to be at the top of this leaderboard.
Well, hey, so now let us actually show the leaderboard. By the way, if anybody from TGA or the eLearning Brothers is #1, I'm going to be very upset because we need to let our guests actually show up. So as everybody can see, we have a phenomenal tie for #1. So David at 1,200 and Holly and Laura. So you might be asking yourselves, why is David #1? Well, that's a great question. David's #1 because we have a sorting mechanism on the leaderboard that's based on, first sort is based on the dollars, and the second sort is based on the speed with which the players are responding. And David not only has gotten everything right, but David has also answered faster than Holly in a cumulative, the summation of all of his answer times. So David, you're doing great. Everybody else, plenty of time to overtake David.
I'm ranked number 45, so I'm way down the leaderboard.
Ooh, you're doing great.
I'm pulling from Millennium and 6 to come out strong in the last half of the game because that's a great Star Wars name. And also Sean, because Sean was the name of the janitor on the Death Star, right, in Empire Strikes Back?
Right.
Wow. I'd also like to point out that Steve has not broken his streak of not making the leaderboard.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Don't make me come over less than 6 feet from you. Don't make me do it. All right, that was poor taste, everybody. I apologize. We'll just move on.
Steven. All right. Where are we going next?
Can we go hostess for the mostest with 600, please?
Oh, because you said please, I will do so.
Daily double.
Woo! All right, the daily double, folks.
Daily double.
All right, so
Wait.
here we go. So here's the deal. On your screen, you see the daily double. You are to grab the blue dot and drag the blue dot to the right as far as you wish to go on your wager. Remembering there is real money at stake here, so think about your waging strategy. What do you want to do here? In Jeopardy, in the first round, there's one daily double, of course. And then in Double Jeopardy, which we will not be playing today. Today, we are only playing the Jeopardy round and then Final Jeopardy. When you create your Jeopardy game for your next web conference call, you can decide whether or not you want to have Double Jeopardy on. And it's just a little toggle that allows you to turn it on and off. So here, make your wager, and in 2 seconds, I'm going to hide the wager button. So last chance for wagers. Here we go. All right, so now up is going to come the actual clue. And here we have a visual aid. So this gentleman is on a web conference call. How about that? And here comes the clue. This casual activity is a great way to pre-game and loosen up the team before the call officially begins. And this is a text input. So get ready, fingers on keyboards. Here we go. What is? Type in your response, please.
Do I get points for being the loudest typer?
Andrew's typing so fast.
43 people have responded.
I don't think that's in the algorithm.
Oh my gosh. Somebody responded, I'm not going to call out their name, but somebody responded beer.
If it's a Friday, I guess. If it's a Friday, maybe.
Sure.
Game.
The second one was icebreaker. It's not quite right. All right, 71 people responded to this clue. Let us see what the most correct answer was. Small talk. That's so right. Be like the Marauders, waiting patiently on the battleground for those chatty little extroverted Ewoks to stop their socializing and take back Endor once and for all. By the way, also acceptable for this answer was chit chat or banter. Small talk was the most correct answer. Let's learn a little bit more about chit chat. And that would be Stephen again. Stephen, talk to us about chit chat, bud.
Well, as you can all tell, I like to talk a lot. In lieu of being in the office with our colleagues, and I know that we have quite a fun environment here. I know eLearning Brothers has quite a fun environment in their office. I think people are missing that connection with people, right? So I think that especially as you're thinking about virtual meetings, virtual training, it's important to give people that opportunity to engage with others just a little bit before a meeting starts. I actually think that what you're seeing here is how we run our meetings at the game agency, and it's not just a one-way street. It's really about having people engage with each other. So I think not only should you be able to start with that, but leave room throughout your session for that across the way. I think that's really critical.
Is that why it took us 15 meetings to plan this session?
That might be the reason, Andrew. I talk a lot. I mean,
And to your defense, Steve, you're not just a great talker, you're also a great listener, right?
what? Sorry, did you say something?
Oh my gosh. All right, Steven.
Next.
There we go, bud. Take us.
All right. Let's go hostess with the mostest for 400, please.
All right, to clear out this category, hostess for the mostest, here's a visual clue. Oh, yes. All right, so this is a fun little image.
It's my house.
It's your house. You know, I love that kitty cat. All right, let's learn a little bit more.
Poor cat's getting a recorder in the ear.
Yeah. A digital meeting best practice that should be done 5 minutes before, right?
At least.
All right, here are possible responses. Change your smoke alarm batteries, review your notes for the 8th time, yell to your neighbors that you're on the phone, or ensure others in your home know you're headed into a meeting. Please select the best answer from those above. All right, 48 people have already responded. Getting a lot of correct answers. All right, there's definite consensus around one of the answers. And let's see what there is to see. Correct answer is ensure others in your home know you're heading into a meeting. That is correct. Can you imagine how distracting it would be to have Ewoks climbing all over you on a call?
Been there, done that.
All right, so let's learn a little bit more.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is a tough one. I'd love to talk about this one. So I have 2 sons. One is 3 and one is 3 months. And they are so happy that Dad is home because that means he can be able to. I can play with them all the time, and then it's just heartbreaking when they come in to be like, no, you got to go away. So we're trying to find ways to make sure people know you're going to be in a call. I've shared my work calendar with my wife so that if my son says, hey, I want to go see Dad, she can look at the calendar and say, well, he's busy right now. Looks like you can go visit at 3 o'clock. There's no meetings at that time. There's other creative ways here on the screen, like mom's in a meeting, don't enter. The answer to your question is probably one of these options. Another thing that we had to do is we have Google Homes or Nest Minis. I don't remember how Google's acquisition worked, but all over our house, and you can broadcast through those. And I was in a webinar, in fact, once when my son got in a broadcast argument with my wife, and beep, beep, beep from the Google Home, and then, Mom, I'm mad at you. You're so mean, came through, and I was like, oh my gosh. So now it's a habit to go and unplug the Google from the wall before big important meetings and do all these different things just to do whatever it takes to prevent being interrupted. Because while small talk can help you work together as a team and help you stay focused on your meeting, small talk from people in your house doesn't necessarily help that much, in my experience. Anyway,
I'll share something with you because my children are now a bit older. The only thing more heartbreaking than to have to tell your children that you're in a meeting right now, you can't play with them right now. The only thing more heartbreaking is when they stop coming in to your office. And that's, yeah.
ready.
The board. We are running out of clues, ladies and gentlemen.
That's good. We're running out of time too.
There you go. All right, Andrew, where are we going on our final journeys?
Let's close out Galactech, please. For like 400 is left.
Here's a visual clue. Oh, I love that gentleman's mustache. That's fabulous. That's just great. All right, here comes the clue. Tools that help your team avoid the inevitable. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Is that your dog? Here come the answers, or I should say possible responses. What are dial-up, wired microphone / headset, smoke signals, or the mute button? All right, let's see how we're doing. I spy with my little eye that 43 people have already responded.
Stephen seems to be cheating.
What? Give away the answers.
Pointing at his ears. I can't hear anything.
Just to let you know that Aubrey was the first person to get that right.
Go Aubrey!
Under 2 seconds. So good job, Aubrey. Very nice. All right. Let's find out how Aubrey answered, because she was correct. And the correct answer is indeed wired microphone / headset. You got it. Star Wars takes place long, long ago with interstellar flight, and yet the Millennium Falcon is equipped with wired headsets. Think about that. All right, let's learn a little bit more about the tech here. And I believe that's Andrew, right? You're going to help us.
I can chat about that for sure.
He knows tech.
Now, there's a lot of people saying, wait, why isn't it the mute button? The question was, how do you solve the, hey, are you hearing me? Are you hearing me? The mute button is usually a problem when it comes to that. We said wired headset for a couple of reasons. Stephen is the only good example. Well, no, Richard, you're wearing wired headphones as well.
Nope.
Those are good examples because those won't give feedback a lot of the time. So like I have a microphone that's separate from my speakers, and there's a risk of feedback in that case. But with wired headset, not very much issues. Also, we've found Bluetooth headsets all often decrease your sound quality, and some of them have mute buttons on them that don't correlate with the mute button in your software, and it can get a little bit complex. So a simple wired headphones, and if it's got a mic, even better, can really alleviate some pain.
Very cool.
For the next one, I'm just jumping into it because I'm so excited. I'd like to see Gameface for 600, please.
You got it. Gameface for 600. Here's the visual clue. And then a reminder, you don't need to have visual clues. You can. We like them. All right. Love this image. This is so cool.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Yeah. Let's learn a little bit more about this particular clue. This activity is key to developing great battle plans and ideas. Let's see the possible answers. What is? Type in your response, please. Two people have responded.
Thinking about Star Wars, I mean, the answer should be attack and steal, right?
Do the stormtroopers do it?
The question is, how do you develop such a great battle plan?
Right, but you can go steal it, and then you have it. So, seems like that was done a
Stealing
lot.
is your answer?
By the way,
You storm in there, which really requires some smart.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
answer.
really good
Stormtrooping.
Han got that answer super fast. He was the first person to respond, and Han got that answer correct. Let's see what Han answered. Here comes the correct answer. And we were looking for variations on this, so there were all kinds of possible spelling permutations, but the answer was brainstorming. Brainstorming, with C-3PO got Luke, Han, Leia, and Chewbacca out of the trash compactor. And without this collaboration, there would never have been a Star Wars. Let's go back to the board, and we are down to our very last clue on this board. So I'm going to go ahead.
Ready to see the leaderboard?
We'll see the leaderboard in just a second. But you want to see it before?
Did you say that Han shot first in that last one?
Han got that, yes. Han got that. We'll see the leaderboard in just a second. We're going to do 400 here. And so this person was paying attention to you, Andrew. They have a wired headset. You see that? All right, let's see what the text clue is.
I think that's the exact same headset Stephen's wearing.
It could be. That was Stephen. For those of you that, the best games are
Before COVID-19, I looked much better.
Oh,
a lot less stressed.
Andrew, can you mute Stephen's phone? Best games are filled with this. What is Darth Vader running the buzzer, obvious answers, red herrings, or thought-provoking content? Getting down to the, I can't wait to see the leaderboard, by the way. I'm very excited. 25 people have now responded.
Obviously, it's Darth Vader fishing for red herrings.
Good job, David. Responding fastest with the correct answer. 59 people have now responded. Running out of time, folks. Hurry, hurry. Not ready to run out. 61 people. All right. Here come the correct answers. And the correct answer for this clue was indeed thought-provoking content. Search your feelings. Luke, Obi-Wan, Yoda, Palpatine, Darth Vader. Let us go to the next feedback, the advanced feedback as we call it, and learn a little bit more about this particular concept. Who's got our back?
I got you, just because I think it's a good example of, yeah, we're having fun with a Jeopardy game, but really the catch in all of the games is to make sure that you're engaging the audience with the content and the message and all the lessons you're wanting to teach or discuss. It's got to be about the content. So many times we can get caught up in the bells and whistles and forget about the meat and potatoes. And that's where it's learning really happens. And same thing for purpose for the meetings that you hold. It comes down to still making it productive. Yes, engaging, but thoughtful.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, Trent. And I'll say this, remember that agenda you talked about a few minutes ago? Talk about having your agenda be a great way of creating the content for a Jeopardy game. And imagine having the columns, all of the themes for your Jeopardy game be based directly on your agenda. And, every 10 minutes of your meeting, every 15 minutes of your meeting, play a clue or two. That's how you keep people engaged. They have to listen to be able to actually respond to the clues. And so it's a fabulous way to provide that intellectual challenge while also touching people emotionally.
That picture also is great. He looks super engaged. And if the last picture was Stephen prior COVID, that one's Richard Lowenthal prior COVID.
Oh boy. Yeah, my hairline isn't quite nearly good. All right, now we're actually going to see the leaderboard.
Oh, I didn't qualify.
Yeah.
Me either.
You need. I probably should have told everybody from the very beginning.
Kylo Ren.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
Kylo is in the lead. Did everyone notice that David was in the lead previously, but now Kylo has taken an unexpected, kind of a
Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself. I had Kylo's back the entire time.
Did you?
No question in my mind.
I'm Team Kylo too.
Yeah.
Channeling the dark side.
So now, right, we're now about to start Final Jeopardy. And now you have to think about your wager. How are you going to wage? What is Kylo going to wage? So now we're going to enter into Final Jeopardy.
Congratulations, you made it to Final Jeopardy.
Lucky.
All right, folks. So now
What's your wager?
place your wagers by grabbing the blue dot and moving it to the right. Think about how much you want to wage. Is that a word? How much you want to wage? Isn't it like how much you want to bet? Right? I would think how much you want to. Anyway, so
I think you would say wager. How much do you want to wager?
how much
Wager just sounds more professional than bet.
Wager. Wager's the word.
Right.
Wage is what you do with war.
you wage. All right. Well, I'm hiding the wage button. So
Appropriate.
yes. All right. So now here comes the clue. This is the very final clue. That is a very cool shot. So obviously these folks are on a web conference call of some sort. And they're all smiling because they're playing Jeopardy. That's why they're smiling.
Well, all such beautiful people.
Thank you. And all my
Just like
family.
us.
All right, here we go. Here comes the clue. This is the most important force. Let's show possible answers. Now, this is Final Jeopardy, so you expected nothing less than have to type in the response.
It would be the light side, right? Or, I mean, Steven will probably say dark side, or Mark actually, but I mean, it's the light side of the force. Is that what they call it? That's the most important force.
Rich, that is an important force.
Is that what you typed in?
It's more important.
Mark, did you type that in? Mark typed in dark side. I know he did.
Now, just so that everybody knows, the judges on this one were very strict in the kind of answer we were looking for. So there are a couple people we wanted to be very, very strict. And Blake, while I like your answer, we decided to be super duper strict on this one. I'm going to show you the answer right now. Blake's going to go, oh, really? What? If Blake, wait for the chat. Here's the answer, the only answer we wanted for this last one. We could have been more lenient, but we decided to go with the workforce. So workforce was also acceptable, just to let you know. You got it. Yoda trained Luke very differently than the way Luke trained Ben Solo. The trained workforce is unstoppable. Now, last feedback, for the very last feedback, I believe here's just 3 primary takeaways. First of all, create that clear agenda, okay? Ensure that you have all the right tech in place. Use multimedia and fun. Keep that meeting engaging people. You've got to keep people paying attention. That is a primary mission. Keep everyone on their toes at all time. Keep them actively listening and participating. And then most importantly, remember the 7 Ps. All right, everybody for the rest of the day, go around reciting the 7 Ps. Prior proper planning prevents painfully poor performance. It's all about properly preparing for your meetings. All the things above, the other 3, feed right into that strategy of the 7 Ps. Prior proper planning prevents painfully poor performance. Say that 7 times. Now, we're going to go and now see the leaderboard. And
Thanks for playing and learning with Jeopardy.
that was Johnny Gilbert. Let's check out the leaderboard. All right, Cynthia, Margaret, and Erin, the 3 of you won. Cynthia, you won $50. Margaret, you won $25, and Erin, you won $10. So congratulations.
And David just out of the winning. Oh,
So close.
Well, want to say a huge thanks to everybody out there in the universe, out there in the galaxy for joining us today. Very appreciate your time. Note again, if you want to have your own company hosted Jeopardy game, it is our pleasure to do so. It's our pleasure. Reach out to ELB. They'll arrange that. It's tremendous amounts of fun. It really gives you a good sense of how you can use Jeopardy and all of our online group play games to keep your next web conference call deeply engaging, have people participate, use it for your next virtual training session. We're here to help. Any questions that you guys are seeing that you want to address?
Well, there's a couple thoughts here. First of all, thank you so much, the game agency, for putting this on and for making this available. This was a lot of fun for those that were able to jump on and play. If you guys want to try this, there's the information is there on the phone. You can send us an email at info@elearningbrothers.com or just give us a phone call, 801-796-2767. If you have questions about this, also reach out to those same numbers. There's a couple suggestions here. People are saying that if they didn't qualify for Final Jeopardy, they weren't able to see the Final Jeopardy, even though, I mean, obviously they wouldn't have been able to participate, but they're just staring at a blank question. So if you're still developing it, that would be a cool adjustment to make. But overall, this was a lot of fun. We don't have any questions about the content or anything. We're all set. I hope everybody has a fun Star Wars day, and we'll go ahead and close this out. So thanks, everybody, and we'll see you guys next time.
thank you all.
Thanks.